Eyeballs ahead jokes.
Welcome back to episode 195 of Eye Pokes and Head Chokes. It's your boy, Mr. Alex. Not Mr. Alex 25, but Mr. Alex. And on the other side, you got Mr. Cooler, who you can't see. You should have ducked out the way and just did that with your hand. But whatever. It's all good.
5 times.
We're back. We hope everybody enjoyed their Halloween. Shut the fuck up. We hope everybody enjoyed their Halloween.
I don't care. It's
for the most part, whatever you could enjoy with Halloween, because I know it was
really weird.
It's a weird Halloween. Honestly, all I did was just watch horror movies all week leading up to Halloween. I watched Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3.
That's one of my favorites.
I watched Leprechaun in the Hood, and they're terrible movies. Fucking terrible movies. But it's so terrible.
Until you get to Leprechaun in the Hood, it's really terrible.
No, they're all bad to begin with. The first one with Jennifer Aniston is fucking terrible. So
I didn't know she was in that.
The first one. When I was watching it, I was like, why does it sound like fucking Friends? And I looked up, it's fucking Jennifer Aniston. And I was like,
she's a staple.
Terrible acting, but whatever. Doesn't matter. And not only from her, everybody. But the Leprechaun was funny. It was pretty funny. But
not only from her.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was pretty bad. I'm just saying it was pretty fucking bad.
It was the 90s.
But no, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed their Halloweens how they could. If you got kids and you dressed them up and just paraded them around your house for fun and took pictures and put them on IG, good for you.
Put them in a costume and throw candy.
Yeah, exactly. Just throw candy out
haunted house, kiddo.
If you set up if your community was able to do some, socially distanced trick or treating, which I know some communities were able to do it. That's also very cool too. But yeah. Hope you had a good weekend at least, and we're in for the shit show of this week. We don't know how it's gonna turn out. This is the real Halloween coming up, so it's real scary shit. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, we're here to talk about UFC Fight Night, some AEW news. We're also gonna be talking about AEW Full Gear, and some WWE news here and there about WrestleMania, and talking about Sasha for a bit, and then the random stuff that we talk about afterwards. So. Let's just get into it.
Where do we start?
We're gonna start with UFC Fight Night. Might as well. You kind of froze there for a second. I don't know why you froze. You're still frozen.
Who's back?
Tell your friends.
Tell
your friends. Look who's back.
Guess who's back.
Anyways, so yeah, before we got cut off because of technical difficulties on Skype, and we're gonna be talking about UFC Fight Night. We're gonna run through the cards and pretty much just talk about the main event of the fight. So main event of the night. Jesus Christ. So we had Thiago Moises defeating Bobby Green in a decision win. Went the full 3 rounds. After that, we had Kevin Holland defeating Charlie Ontiveros in the first round submission. Good on you in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. After that, we had a heavyweight bout. Greg Hardy defeated Maurice Green in round 2 with a TKO. I mean, you know what? He's good. He's doing his thing because that's what he likes to do. So moving on, we have Bryce Mitchell defeating Andre Fili in a 3-round decision win. It's pretty cool.
This was a really good fight. I like
Bryce Mitchell versus Andre Fili.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was a good back and forth,
yes. I wouldn't say a good back and forth, but touchy-feely. That's what they call him, touchy.
Oh, okay.
Feely, he was doing his thing. He ended up getting put down 8 times. It was eight.
Oh, that'll get you lost immediately. Yeah. Anything more than 4 takedowns, you're done.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying. They were saying he usually gets taken down just 4 times. Before this match, it was just 4 times the max for him, and then
so he just couldn't defend it at all this time around.
And he was he did reverse the takedowns at moments. He pretty much on the ground did 2 spins twice.
Okay.
Or did 1 spin twice.
At the end of the day, unfortunately, a takedown is still a takedown. Even if you're on the floor for a split second and you still reverse it, it still counts as a full takedown. So a point's a point. It's a point. So it is what it is.
And reversals are nice, but it's not the same kind. It's half.
Like he pressed R2 way too late. And then
Yeah.
after that we had a main event. We had Uriah Hall defeating Anderson Silva in a four rounds at a minute 25 TKO, which looks to be like Anderson Silva's last fight. So we could talk about that. Like
Yeah.
you watched it. I wasn't, not that I wasn't able to watch it. I was just watching movies with
You weren't interested to watch it at the time.
I wanted to, but then like when you texted
You was like
saying,
right
hey,
now.
yeah, that's what I was like right now they're about to fight. So
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm like watching something, like, you know, watching the movie, and it was Halloween too, right? So it was like I was watching Halloween movies.
Yeah.
So
It was on Saturday. It was
yeah, but
weird. Why would they have a fight on Halloween? A
I don't
fight
know.
card?
It is what it is. But how was the fight though? Like,
It was really good. It was back and forth. Silva was doing his Silva thing where he was just like super calculated. They were just like tapping gloves for the longest, like, because they pretty much were just fully aware of just what the other was doing, and it was just like something needs to happen. But even in the middle of that, they were throwing jabs and straight punches too, and kicks as well. But it was just like, okay, a little bit more excitement. That would have been the part where the fight would have got booed if it was actually a crowd. But
gotcha.
I get it. It just that fourth round, I think what they were saying was Anderson Silva was just taking too much time trying to be calculated, which is not bad, but when you got
at
it,
a certain point, you gotta, you know,
yeah, you have to move.
you have to risk those calculations to just like at least go and get
yeah.
the.
You have to understand that your calculations are right, and you might have to move on them. Even
Which is what happened to Lomachenko. He waited
yes,
too late to do it, and that's why he lost.
yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly,
got it.
exactly. Is there a fire around here? What the hell is
Sounds
happening?
like it. Sounds like you're having a problem out there. But continue.
Yeah. So that fourth round is just where things picked up, as you can see. It was really good round. It was just not a good round for Anderson. Like, it just got bad for a minute. He took him down, but he didn't even take him down. He was just throwing punches, and Uriah Hall actually got him. Like,
just clapped him
yeah.
once, and then between those punches, it happens. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
that's what
it
UFC
didn't
is.
even look. Yeah, it happens, and it didn't even look like the strongest punch that he
But
threw.
that's the thing.
Those
It's
are the ones.
Those are the ones.
Those are the sleepers.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like a hit, but it's perfectly
Yeah,
placed, and
yeah,
that's the thing. Like,
exactly.
I could barely hit you, but if I tag you hard enough, like, or at the perfect position, at the
Especially when
perfect
you're
speed, at the
moving
perfect
into
time, exactly. Like, and it just depends where. If you get hit under the ear in the same way, like, you could probably eat that punch 9 times out of 10, but just that 1 out of 10 time,
it was
like, you're
definitely like right around that jawline, and I'm just
yeah.
like, oh. And it's crazy because the punch looked like it was just kind of a tap, but it also looked like it was a retraction happening too. Like, he was like, because he threw
He
a
was
punch.
pulling back and punching at the same time.
Yes. So that's like, it looks even worse when you look at it. It's just like, that shouldn't have got him, but it got him.
Like, you know,
Yeah, it
it got
happened.
him. It got him. So, being that, you know, Anderson Silva for the longest time was the shit.
Yes,
Obviously, like
yes.
fucking GOAT
Until the leg.
status type shit. Until, you know, he started losing, unfortunately. I mean, and that happens with age overall. You start fighting the new up and comers, that because Anderson Silva, they had never seen anything like him to the point. Like, you know what I mean? And
still.
no, I mean, you can kind of see some of that in like Adesanya. Like, I see some Anderson Silva and Adesanya, but like a more advanced Anderson Silva and Adesanya. So, so when you look at Anderson Silva, like, his career is storied. Obviously, he's one of the best of all time to fucking do it. Do you agree that he should just hang it up now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember he was saying, like, in the promos leading up to this fight, like, I remember watching it while we were watching the UFC 254. Like, they had the promo for this fight. He was just like, yeah, this looks like it's gonna be one of my last fights, blah blah, or might be my last fight, this and that. And I'm just like, oh, okay, he's aware that, you know, it's time to hang him up. Mm-hmm. But like you said, sometimes people still get that itch. And
Yeah,
it's
so
like
you don't ever know what's really going to happen because
maybe his last fight with the UFC,
possibly because
because what E did say, which was smart, he was like, maybe he goes to Bellator. I'm just like, yeah, but he shouldn't, because you're done. Like,
yeah, but what
just
happens when
retire.
he goes to Bellator
Might get smacked.
or if he just stays at the top over there? Now you definitely like you and that company looks like second tier.
Yeah, exactly. So
So either you go over there and you just manage and you figure out how to help everyone else over there,
mm,
or or you're just like the vet helping out the youngsters. Like
yeah,
that's it's a way to do it, and you should be able, like, depending on who you are, you should be able to teeter between both companies
absolutely.
in certain type of way, especially if you're like managing fighters and things like that.
I just think at this
Like
point,
have your own team.
like, and
Build
that's
your
what I
own
was gonna
team.
say. A lot of people like have issues, like, letting go of the fight game, and it's understandable because you've been in it for so long. That's what you've known your whole life. Pass on that knowledge. Have a Silva team, Anderson Silva team, or whatever you want to call it, or be a brand ambassador for UFC. Like, you've earned
Yeah.
that right, pretty much. You know what I mean? So like, it's there's different ways to do it. I honestly think he should just hang it up now. Like, I think he's done.
He has nothing else to prove,
He does.
and
He never had anything really to prove after that. Like,
yeah.
once you started to see him lose, it's because it's like, oh, you're getting caught up to. Like, it's
So wait, so everything did pretty much start from that leg breakage, right?
yeah.
That's yeah.
And unfortunate, that's what happens. But shit happens.
It's a fight. It's a fight. Anything can happen. This is it's different. Anything can actually happen. So you just have to be aware. You just have to, like, even if you're on your P's and Q's, and
Your
he
P's and
was.
Q's might not matter. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
exactly. And
shit
it didn't matter.
happens.
And it didn't
Yeah.
matter. It was unfortunate. It snapped, and that was what, 16?
Mm-hmm. That was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I still remember watching that. I was like, no. Like,
yeah.
I was just like,
yeah, that was the worst feeling I've ever had in my stomach. Like,
it still bothers me just thinking about it, the way it went around and
and
anyways.
Yeah. Let's not get graphic with it, because so it still bothers me too. It definitely still bothers me too. Just the thought.
Anyways, but yeah, that was UFC Fight Night, I guess. I mean, Anderson Silva's had an amazing career, and I hope, like, this is the time, like, just hang it up and start. Relax.
I forgot the guy's name who was on commentary. Who Silva has had some fights with, like, good fights. He also retired. He was basically saying, like, okay, we're like, he asked him,
"You're done, son, right?"
Yeah, like, what is next for you? Because not because of anything, but what is next for you? And he said he went back and forth in this conversation with him, saying it might be it. This is my last fight. Like, he said, this is my last fight, and then moments later, like,
then he ruxined it.
Yes, and he said, I don't know, like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a fight.
It's hard to admit. That's the thing. Like, you could say it out, and then, like, once you speak it out, it's like, oh shit, like,
yeah. Now you can't.
So it kind of hits.
Now you put it in
and
your.
And then you try to retract it a bit, like, oh, I don't know what. No, it's like it's probably him trying to struggle with the fact that, hey, like,
you need to, you should. There's no reason for you not to. Like, and I get it. You don't want your last fight to be a loss.
But you know what? Like, take the L, bro.
That loss sits on a lot of fucking history.
Exactly. So
a lot
nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed about. He had a fucking career to be noted, and, like, he's gonna go down as one of the greatest. So it is what it is. But yeah, congratulations on a career if it is the end of your career. But that was UFC. We can start talking about AEW. So what happened this last?
There's a whole nother card too. There's a whole nother card. So AEW and Full Gear is gonna, well, not AEW and Full Gear. AEW and UFC is gonna go head to head next Saturday. Okay. I just realized that. No, I just noticed that.
So AEW news, the latest that happened in AEW on Dynamite, because then we'll get into the Full Gear card.
Yes. Where did I put that card at? Here it goes. So we had Eddie Kingston going up against Matt Sydal. Eddie Kingston is pretty much getting ready, like warming up for his fight this Saturday. And it was a good match. It didn't look the best for Matt Sydal. This was actually his first match on Dynamite. But it's Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston has to get ready for Jon Moxley at this point.
You got a job, bro. You got a job a bit.
Yeah. And it wasn't a bad job because he did look good too.
That's good. I mean, but you ain't going to get that win ahead of the,
You're not. Yeah. You're not. But Matt Sydal looks good though. He looks good in this role as on AEW. You all right over there? You struggling with your headphone over there? Yeah. With your microphone?
Yeah.
He just looks good. He did look good in the Impact, but it's very different when how we talk about Impact and their cameras and such and such and such. But anyway, after that, we also got a Hangman versus Wardlow match. Actually, that was the opening, and that was a really good match. That was a really good match, and you already know. Hangman has been put over.
Better.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot better, but he's been getting put over since AEW has started.
True.
And this was
I like that gradual, letting it be gradual and also organic at the same time, because the gradual becomes organic after a while.
Yeah.
When you try to shove somebody down everybody's throat, like they did with Roman Reigns, unfortunately, when they had the natural thing, they didn't go with it. But then they were like, "Oh, we missed our chance. Now we have to shove them down everybody's throats." So I like the fact that they're still doing it
with Hangman. Yeah,
They're still doing with Hangman.
Yeah. Hangman is dope. This match with him and Wardlow, it looked amazing. Like Wardlow did not look like he jobbed out. It didn't look like it looked like a real back and forth. It was a real back and forth. Didn't know what was actually going to happen. Like as big as Wardlow is, I was expecting him to win at least 3 or 4 times during that match.
Sorry, continue.
It's Detective Pikachu.
I have the hat on though, so it's not.
Don't matter to me.
Good movie though. Just saying.
It is. I've watched that at least 2 or 3 times.
Good movie.
But yeah, Hangman looked really good. Wardlow looked really good too, and they had a whole promo thing for Wardlow. He's just a fucking beast. He had one of those Road to promos on AEW YouTube channel. It was just amazing. It was just amazing. You see him training. You see like how big he is. Like dude is a monster.
I am machine. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course they played into the whole, if you win this tournament and the MJF who's gonna get the title first type of deal. Like, yeah, they questioned
that. That's good, but play that up a bit, you know?
Yeah, they played it up. Yeah. So that was interesting. And then of course, Candy, Wardlow was like, oh no. MJF said if he wins the title, it's my title. Because MJF is an asshole. But MJF, like the story with that is MJF Wardlow is contracted to MJF, not AEW. So
okay, yeah, I mean that's not a bad spin.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. Then after that, we had the Jericho and MJF Town Hall. It was kind of cool. Everyone came up. A couple of people came up for questions. Leva Bates, the role model.
But what was the town hall about, though?
It was just basically, why would MJF be a good fit?
Why would he be a good fit then? What was the reasons? Nothing good, right? No good reason.
Nothing really good. Everyone basically said they were like oil and water. like you have the same kind of attitude. How would you guys actually work together? Like MJF couldn't answer that either. He was like, it can't work together. Like he went on a whole thing about everything else, like, oh no, we can't answer that. You can't ask me questions that really matter, or respect me with the questions that you ask. And Jericho is like, whoa, but answer the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. So they went into this. Yeah, they went into this whole thing about Ortiz and Sammy Guevara not really liking him. So they're having a tag match this Wednesday, them two versus MJF and Wardlow. It's going to be very interesting to see.
That is interesting.
That's a different tag match. We usually see Santana and Ortiz, but it's Ortiz and Guevara. Oh, them Spanish boys. Look who they hanging out with. Well, look who Jericho's hanging out with.
Exactly.
All right, and then after that, we also got the Cody and Orange Cassidy match, the Lumberjack match.
Which plays into the Full Gear, but continue.
Yeah, plays into the Full Gear match a little bit, but yeah,
so I don't know. This was a TNT Championship match, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Championship Lumberjack match, yeah. Yeah, because 2 weeks ago they had the match, but it was stopped. It wasn't stopped. It went to time. So
yes, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Really good match. I think that was a better match. I
actually watched that day. I remember.
Look at you watching every 9 weeks.
I mean, hey.
But it was a good match. A lot of things was happening. This match was more for storyline building. After during the match, you already know Orange Cassidy is with the best friends. Best friends were being a little cheaterish, not heelish, but they were trying to help them.
Doing their cheesy doodle things to help you, obviously.
Yeah.
Trying to help out a little bit of cheesy doodle.
Yeah.
Every so often,
Exactly, and then your best friend should get the title.
Exactly.
If that's how you feel, that's you should feel like that. You should feel like that.
Hey, if you going up for the title, I'm gonna get up on the apron and be like, hey.
Exactly. Hello. So Trent actually sucker punched Cody. And yeah. So it was a little bit of fun stuff happening. Johnson Lee came to his defense a little bit, came to Cody's defense, and so did the Gun Club. Austin Gunn and Billy Gunn came to Cody's defense. And a couple of days later, I think Friday or Saturday, Cody tweeted, "Oh yeah, guess who's in the Nightmare Family now?" So yeah, those three people.
Family? Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, those three people. I wouldn't you got to stop being so lenient with letting people come into the clique, because you saw what happened with the bunny. The bunny's no longer in the clique.
Exactly.
She's back with the Butcher and the Blade and
maybe it was a trial era,
Yeah, but they all remember
7-day free trial type thing,
Maybe, but yeah, they did the whole woman tag team tournament together too. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But the highlight of the night was definitely the match that you knew it would be: Omega versus Penta. Sheesh. So Asshole Kenny is back, and I like it. He came out with the AAA title, which
he did.
Yes, the belt that he took from Ray Phoenix. Yeah. Good. And he was they started doing chops, but then he was like, whoa. Then he took his shirt off and he showed that he had the belt. And Ray is he's out outside the ring. He's hot.
Yeah,
he is hot. Yeah, he is hot. He's like, you motherfucker, you all of that. So he's hot, and
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's really funny because it's like, okay, you're building into the.
Which you should, because you are a champion. I'm sorry, you are, and that's a pretty big, mega campeonato to hold. So
yeah.
I'm just saying,
and it's like we were saying,
we've been asking for this to be a case. You should be walking in with your AAA championship at that moment. You should have the mega campeonato on yourself coming in if you're the champion.
There needs to be an American liaison for every company.
Yeah.
That's not American. There should be a liaison for New Japan that can bring the damn title over here.
Exactly.
Moxley's title. Same thing with AAA. We apparently must have. And everything else.
I'll do that job. I'll go to Japan and get the title.
Pick it up and go.
Oh, you need me to go to Mexico? Nah, I got my mask and gloves. I'm good. I can go.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
I got an extra pair.
Can I get some burritos too? Yeah? You want me to bring? Got you. Yeah. Got you.
Exactly. That would be a cool ass. Wanted to be a cool ass job for somebody to have. And
I
it'd
would
just
have
be,
loved to have done that. Sorry to cut you off. I would have loved to have done that when Zack Sabre Jr. had like 8 titles.
oh my God.
I would carry his 8 titles around. I'd be like, yo, let's go.
Yo, and then you got to have special casings for them too.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
That's
Fuck
gotta,
that. Like, oh man. Not like velvet bags like Jericho losing shit. Jericho's never gonna live that shit down. It's crazy because no one talks about it as much anymore. But as soon as he get the title
you lost
again,
the title, bro. Like, so you
oh
gonna
man,
lose this one too? Be like,
yeah, I'm sure he's heard the joke. That's why Vince
oh
never
yeah,
gave the title
exactly.
again.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gotten that joke before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good back and forth match. It looked just as unsafe as their other matches that they've had together.
I'm sure that goes without question. Like,
oh my God, the package power driver is the most unprotected move when it comes to Penta.
yeah, that he don't care about nobody.
He does not.
He did it to his own fucking brother. So like,
yeah, and he took that shit. So, oh man, so
it's like when you powerbomb the shit out of your little brother on the fucking on the bed, but like the bed, you miss the fucking bed, and he accidentally hits, and you're just like, oh well, like
it's like you knew what you was getting into.
Exactly, and the brother has nothing to be mad about because he let him do it when you were play wrestling. So that's what it is. Shit happens.
Life is life.
Yeah.
when you're kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I like the match. It was a highlight. Like I said, we already knew it was going to be the main event, and then we got the match for Full Gear: Hangman versus Omega.
All right, so
that's the final.
Because you just mentioned Full Gear, we're gonna
go into that. We're not gonna talk about nothing else. There's nothing else to talk about yet. Everything else is all rumors and shit.
Exactly. So going into Full Gear.
Yeah.
Because you said that, so they're gonna start off with Orange Cassidy versus John Silver in the pre-show, I believe. Because Orange Cassidy lost his TNT title opportunity because of Silver's interference. So that should be interesting to watch. After that, on the regular show, we have another Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. I understand the reasoning why we're having that match again because of what happened last time, because they both almost died. So
it's the elite deletion match.
Well, Sammy almost killed Matt, actually, so I should just say that.
People almost
we
always
understand
die.
why. So yeah, the elite deletion, yeah. So that's what we're gonna have. After that, we have Chris Jericho versus MJF. So he has to prove his medal to be in the thing. So a victory over Le Champion would be, enough. Should be enough. I
don't want him to win.
Which I don't think he should win. Honestly, I think Chris Jericho should school the shit out of him and be like, "You're not ready for this yet." Like that's the type of thing it should be.
But it still has to be very close.
No, it has to be close.
You still have to put MJF over.
I mean, it's Chris Jericho. Let's be honest. Like he's gonna do his best to put him on. I don't think he should do this to MJF. But you're always gonna mention Fandango. But no, yeah. Like I just think I think Chris Jericho over. Like I think it should be close until a certain point, and then Chris Jericho fully takes over. Like. You know what I mean? Towards the ending sequences, that's what I think it should be a thing.
One thing that I think that we should definitely see is them trying to out heel each other.
Yeah. And that's gonna happen. So
pin and pulling the tights. Somebody gets a low blow or something like that. But
yeah. So we are speaking of which you said, Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega for the final of the tournament. I want to see what Kenny Omega's new entrance is supposed to look like. Apparently, he's supposed to have a new one.
I don't want to tell you about it. It's silly and it's kind of dope.
Did you see it already?
Yes. I saw it twice the last 2 weeks.
Oh, right. True. I haven't seen it because I hated the first one. I didn't hate the first one. It wasn't.
No. The song does not change. It's just the entrance.
Forget it.
The entrance music does not change.
The match should be awesome, and obviously, like this plays off of their tag team whole thing and them going against each other and everything. Like so, it still carries over from that storyline. Even though if it's not fully direct, it's still kind of direct. So it's good that this.
It goes from that to him. Even before that, him trying to get out of the elite.
Exactly. So it spans all of that, and it's like good story building. Like that's what we wanted for a while. from wrestling. I mean, don't get me wrong, we get that from New Japan, but like at least on our end, on our side of the world, we wanted to see this for quite some time. After that, we have the AEW Women's World Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose wants her shit back. So
two pay-per-views later, does she get it?
Which is fine. Nyla Rose?
She lost it at Double or Nothing.
I think Hikaru Shida should hold it. Because
she hasn't been doing anything.
But that's not her fault. That comes down to booking.
I'm blaming everybody.
That comes down to booking. That's not her fault.
I know.
Like, you know. So
I know because she's been there.
Think for her,
been there at the show.
Exactly. She's been there, but that's again, it's not her fault. Like I think Hikaru Shida, for her to like solidify that, you know, hey, yeah, you beat Nyla Rose at one time, she needs to beat her again. So for her to be like the legit, not that she's not the legit champ, but for her to be like, yo, who wants to fuck with me now? Like, yeah. After that, we have the TNT Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. Everybody's gonna have every like ladies, wrestling ladies like wet dream because Darby Allin, they all fucking love him. And Darby Allin is good. And we had that first match where Darby Allin never lost to Cody Rhodes. Again, it was a time limit draw.
And then after that, he did end up losing 2 other times. Yeah, Cody has been saying he doesn't not that he doesn't deserve another chance, but why does he get another chance?
Well, you have to give him the chance, sir. So
2 more chances after you already beat him, and one of those chances was for the title, and one wasn't.
Was it?
One was, yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't realize that, but it should be a good match. I mean, it's Cody Rhodes. Darby Allin's going to try to kill himself, trying to win.
Yeah, so, this should be a certain type of stipulation, honestly, being that.
I think there should be a stipulation, like, don't kill yourself match. After that.
But at the same time, Cody just had the dog collar match, too.
That's true, too.
So got to take it easy.
Exactly. You guys asshole. I actually saw some of that, and I was just like, oh, shit.
We have not seen Brody since.
I know. After that, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship, FTR versus the Young Bucks, which the Young Bucks said, if we don't win, we're never challenging for it. Bullshit. So
I really hate that stipulation. That needs to no longer be done. Especially if this is their, and I get it, this is their second.
But again, it's open to interpretation. You know what I mean? Because it says, added the stipulation that the Young Bucks will never challenge for the tag titles if they lose, but like against just FTR or overall?
Yeah, but they didn't say that. They didn't specify. But
so you don't specify. That means it's open to interpretation overall. You know what I mean?
Oh, if you don't specify, that means ever.
Yeah, not necessarily.
They said ever. Well, Cody hasn't tried to go against Moxley for the title, so
yeah. And after that, we have the AEW World Championship match: Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston.
I'm for it. I'm for it. Good. I think that's going to be.
It's an I Quit match, apparently. So yes. It should be. I think it's gonna be the best match of the night. Obviously, that and Hangman versus Kenny Omega, I think it's going to be one of the best matches of the night as well. So,
yeah, that buyout match is going to be fucking hilarious. Orange versus
stupid.
No, because I don't know how you don't like John Silver.
It's gonna be. I mean, I didn't say I don't like him. I'm just like, whatever.
He's fucking hilarious.
He's a moron. It's funny, but like, I'm just like, whatever, man.
If you see him,
you do need your morons.
If you see, I got some candy, but it's far. But yeah, he's just really fucking silly. Like if you watch him on Being the Elite, you'll get it a little bit more because they were saying like, of course, like a lot of characters on Being the Elite versus AEW. They try to differentiate that, but even with Brody became more like who he was on Being the Elite than Dynamite. Like, and it goes with it's like additional promo, but not promo. It's the whole half hour. I think that's gonna be it. We might get like 15 minutes of that for their new show.
Maybe.
I think we're gonna get
just shithousery. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah, fuck it. Because they're saying it's geared to the younger talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think we're going to get a lot of that for that third show. Speaking of this third show, we're pretty much we're done with Full Gear.
Full Gear, yeah, that's that. And remember, that's up this Saturday. So
Yes.
for people that want to watch it.
So talking about this third show and talking about the younger talent, Renee Young and Morrow are said to be coming to AEW for this
possibly for that third show. Okay.
Yeah. So I like it.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad announce team together, honestly. I mean, we've kind of seen maybe glimpses or snippets of that, but like, you know, I think it'll be fine. Renee's good. A lot of people give Renee shit, but like, honestly really speaking, good. I think she's pretty damn good. And
she's
over
been on
time,
commentary for 2 years.
Yeah, and over time, she's gotten way better with it too. So like, people giving her that amount of shit, I'm just like, when I hear, you know, oh, she's not that good, I'm like, what have you been watching?
Compared to who? Yeah, don't compare her to Jim Ross in '97. Don't do that.
Obviously not.
Don't
but it's
do
like
that. Like people don't know how to compare, and people
like I want to be like, have you heard Beth Phoenix? Like, I don't hate Beth Phoenix, but it's just like she always sounds like she's in distress. So I'm just like,
she's a damsel in distress. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, an Amazon in distress if you want to say that, but like, you know, she's still bad, but still, either way,
it's just she's as far when it comes to the women announce team or just announcers, she is number 2, and it's not a bad number 2. It's not that. It's not by far.
Not at all. I just think I think it'll be cool if they go to the to AEW for that third show. So because they already have AEW Dark. So yeah, that would be pretty cool to see.
I like it. Yeah, let's get into our random news since we're here.
Okay, so that was pretty much one of the random news things, but
yeah,
you added it to AEW, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. So Vince McMahon is supposed. Oh no, wait. Still, I mean, this could all probably goes with the same thing. Apparently, WWE WrestleMania is supposed to be next year's WrestleMania is supposed to probably be in was supposed to be in LA, right?
It was supposed to be in LA
and Hollywood, but apparently it might be in Hollywood, Florida instead. So that's a running joke. That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
That's a wild Hollywood to change from. You go from glitz and glamour.
The problem is you still don't know with the whole COVID thing. You don't know what it's going to be like in another 4 months. Cases are starting to rise again because people are not taking care of themselves like they're supposed to. So that's fully understandable as to, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in. So we're just going to have to adapt. And if they have to do another WrestleMania without a crowd or with
they're not trying to have that,
or with at least a somewhat smaller crowd in a bigger capacity stadium, then I completely understand that. But for the most part, it's even right now AEW is struggling to sell out for Full Gear because
not really struggling. They only had 87 tickets out of like 900 or something like that.
Well, to sell out, that's what I said, not to like sell completely, but to fully sell out. Either way,
for the rest of the week, like you have a week to sell 84 tickets.
Either way, and they could probably just give those away at the end of the day, if anything. But yeah, like so it's. But I'm just saying, like going to a sporting event is still tricky overall.
Yeah.
Just because I know you're gonna want people to come from all over, like WrestleMania. That's what usually is a big thing. People come from all over the world to go to fucking WrestleMania.
Here's the shitty thing.
But we kind of can't do that right now. So
here's the shitty thing with WWE. They're still catching COVID cases. I would not go. I would not advise anybody to go today.
Until they get that shit under control.
Yeah, but we don't even know when they're going to actually start saying, oh, yeah, here's the ticket sale. So
my problem, and this is my problem, like, if you can't get your own shit under control, why should I trust you to go?
Yeah, because if your house is dirty,
you're a multi-billion dollar company. Like, what are you struggling with? Like, in terms of basic PPE and prevention, or, you know, just basic protocols, like, I work for a multi-billion dollar company, and if we are reliant, you know, no, I'm just saying, but like it's overall, it's just like if a retail location can provide PPE and place protocols in place to reduce, thank God nobody where I work at has caught anything, like has had the virus or anything that I know of, or that we know, because you never know. If you're asymptomatic, you don't fucking know. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like nobody's been out. So like you're telling me that a retail place can do it, but multi-billion-dollar company with their own facilities you can't control just that one area. Like for me, it's just like it's a mind fuck kind of, because I'm just like, but it is what it is.
I mean, it really is. It's unsafe,
and they're affecting their own bottom line at the end of the day. Like, you're fucking with your own bottom line at the end of the day. So if you want to get this WrestleMania shit in order, like, get your shit in order. Like, if you want to have people come, look at New Japan. They have full crowds. And why? Because they take all the preventative measures. They take
there full crowds? I know they're crowds.
Damn near full crowds. In the smaller arenas, yeah, they were damn near full crowds. In the Ryoku Kokuchikan, like in Tokyo, they had a full crowd in the semifinals and the finals. In Osaka, they had damn near full crowds. And with that being said, at Wrestle Kingdom, they're about to go with 20K capacity at the Tokyo Dome out of a 50 to 60K. So
that's wild.
Vince should be, but that's the thing.
It's not that wild. It's not that wild because they're taking care of shit.
Yeah. Japan, they have all these policies and procedures in place to protect themselves, to protect the wrestlers, to protect the people. Why can't WWE do the same? They do test, like AEW does testing practically all the time. Why can't you be like AEW in this instance?
They don't ever say that to them. Don't you ever say that to them. But yes, they should be more. They should act like the company that has been around for the longest.
Set the example. Set the standard.
Like
set the standard.
Yes, exactly.
We know you don't give a shit about your people. We get that. We've known that for fucking years. Unfortunately,
decades.
But in this fucking climate, in this era, yo. Mm-hmm. Be the fucking leaders for once. Like, legit. If you say you're the leaders in wrestling, you're the big shit, be the actual leaders.
Yeah.
Be like on the front lines. Set the fucking standard.
Okay, so I just want to say where it really is. It's going to be in Tampa, Florida, the Raymond James Stadium. I don't know exactly where that is.
Buccaneers?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's where it was at before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to be there. NFL is already doing 20% capacity for. They plan on doing that for the Super Bowl, and WWE is as well. They plan on having 15,000 at least, 13 to 15,000. That's still a lot.
It is.
That's still a lot for WWE. That's still a lot.
It is.
So I don't know. It's not trustworthy. Yeah, like that's just wild to me because they're not getting. I would not advise anybody to go. Like, it was also a rumor. Yeah, on to the next rumor. It was also a rumor that Thunder Rosa might be leaving NWA and going to WWE. I wouldn't advise anybody to even change their job to that place because of the health. Yeah, exactly. Yes, the healthy not the health violations, but the health safeties. Like, take your time. If they're reaching out to you, but there's still cases popping up, would you want to go?
I wouldn't feel comfortable. I mean, money talks, but I still wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it is. Money talks. I'm sorry.
It is. Like, how much work can you do at home as a wrestler? You can't, especially now with the whole Twitch situation. So I know I'm over here like running through shit.
I mean, that's fine because we're running out of time anyway. So because of the Twitch situation, we could move on to that. Apparently, Paige is upset about the whole Twitch situation and not being able to use like shit like Cameo or Twitch because she's under contract with WWE. I sympathize with what she's going through in terms of because if for some reason if my company starts to say, oh, you can't have your podcast, I'd be like, go fuck yourselves. And you know, that's nowhere in my contract. But unfortunately, this is where it becomes tricky on Paige's side because
she can't wrestle anymore, and this is helping.
Wrestle, and that
also helped her with her mental health.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and what did they actually do? How much are they gonna do when?
Like, are you gonna reimburse her with monetary, like whatever she gets from this, or because the thing is, it's just a tricky situation overall. Because whatever is said in your contract, like, all right, pay me the fuck out, and I'll dip. Like, that's it.
They don't care about morale.
They don't.
They don't care about morale, which is the most dangerous thing in the world, honestly. You don't care about morale. Of course, there are tons of competition at this time. Yeah. Like everything is sprouting about. You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you can stay in the States and you can go to AEW. You can do whatever with them, and you can build for 3 months on what you want and what you wish to have when you're free from the non-compete, right?
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just build with your friends, and just make sure you're all right, and just get into whatever shape you need, whether it's mental or physical. Get in the best shape that you need to get into. Yep. And
to be ready for that next step that you want.
Exactly. They're really pushing people away.
And that's the mark of a bad company. So
and it's crazy because they've always done that.
Exactly.
Since the 90s with WCW, even though they bought WCW, but TNA popped up.
Exactly.
TNA popped up, and it was like, "No, we're not touching that." But still, like that was an alternative.
Yeah, and yeah. So apparently Sasha is now a Grand Slam champion on the women's side.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. Because she's held every single important women's title. Well, technically all three. Well, NXT. Does she have the Divas?
Tag. No, all that's available right now. I don't think she had the Diva title.
I think she had the Divas at one. I don't know. I know she had NXT.
Yes.
The tag team, SmackDown, and I mean, even without the Divas, she's Grand Slam champ regardless. So congratulations to her. We'll see how long she can hold her SmackDown title for.
I'm really interested in seeing how long she can hold it too. I'll be really mad if she can't hold it.
If she can't defend it once, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. We know this. Yeah. But I'm kind of officially done with you until you could defend your championship. And it's, again, might not be your fault. But it might not be your fault. It's booking. But at the end of the day, like,
it's building a legacy. Like you have all the championships, but you don't have any of the title runs and defenses outside of the NXT and the tag titles.
Because look at what Becky did. Look at what Bayley did. Look at what fucking...
No. Look what they did for Becky, Bayley, and Charlotte. Look what they did.
That's what I mean. Exactly. So
I got to requote you. But yeah.
I can't even say it's a minority thing because Bayley's a fucking minority too.
And she went over a year.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I hope it changes for her because she's good enough to be the marquee female. She
is. Every time she comes back,
it's a pop, and it's something new. So it's like she's good enough. So what the fuck are they waiting for?
I don't know.
So hopefully they can. Like I hate having to talk shit about Sasha Banks, and it's not her own fault, but it's just like
it's the belief that they put in her, or the lack of that,
because she can win it 6 times. That's fine, but can you carry it? And you can't. Clearly, they don't have that faith in you. So, yeah. Hopefully, that changes going forward.
She's like she's like the worst version of Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Just transition.
But at least he has like a couple fucking defenses to his name for a lot.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely. He had. Oh no, that's not even the point. My joke was more so like he's a transitional champion, but he's a transitional and numbers guy when it comes to championships. Like you're racking up the numbers at this point, and you're just
padding stats.
Yes, and you're also passing these titles along to other people that don't want to fight each other.
Yeah,
type of thing, which is not the worst thing, but yeah, it's a thing. Where we at next with it?
Apparently, Vince McMahon is getting a docuseries from Netflix about all the shitty things he's done for the WWE.
It's not. It's only 4 episodes. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that good for me. You can't fit in all his decades of wrestling in 4 hours or 4 episodes. You can't. So it's going to be real soft and cushiony. This is not going to.
It's going to be a huge puff piece.
Yes,
that's what it is.
It's going to be. It's going to be about
how hard can we hang on his balls? Like
that's it.
That's what it is. That's why I'm really not going to. I mean,
I'm gonna watch it.
Unfortunately, we have to watch it. Yeah, that's the thing.
Bill Simmons is
we have to watch it.
He also produced. He did the 30 for 30, and he did the Andre 3000. Andre the Giant.
All right.
Yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, it's gonna be good, but it's just gonna be a puff piece. Like
Yeah.
the only thing that I'm gonna be mostly interested in is gonna be the '90s,
Mhm.
um, before the Attitude Era. Not the Attitude Era is gonna be very interesting, but
Obviously.
I'm more so gonna be looking for all the information that they're willing to give
Each
about.
episode is gonna be a decade. If
I
you
can
think
see that.
about it.
I can see that. So
It's gonna be
that's gonna.
80s to 90s, 90s to thousands, thousands to 2010, and 2010 to now. That's literally what it's gonna be. If it's a 4-parter, that's how I see it being.
I don't like it already. Then.
Me either.
Because I want at least one whole episode on the steroid case. I want one whole episode in that, and that needs to be like an hour and a half.
I want a whole episode on Jimmy Snuka. So
I want a whole episode on all the cases like that together.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not gonna
Andre,
be it's a whole puff piece, bro. At the end of the day, so it's just like
we know
I'm
what
not that interested. So whatever. So you mentioned Kaylee Ray also.
She's taking a leave of absence from wrestling and Twitter for mental
health. I mean, respectable because
Yes.
you have to be aware of your own mental health and capacity and like what you can handle and this and that. So I get it. Which kind of leads me to think, hey, that's probably why she left AEW in the first place.
It was too much too soon for her because that company, it blew up. No one thought it was going to be that big, and it surpassed Impact Wrestling, and that's where she ended up going. She ended up going to a
smaller
known company, but a company with more history, if that makes sense. But yeah, like I think we were talking about that before this. Like I think that's really what happened because it blew up too big, and
you get anxiety from being there. If they were trying to make you the lead person or something
at least
like
the top
that,
three. At least the top three,
like that could get to you because if you're not used to that type of crowd or whatever, I could see that
crowd, that attention. It's somewhat similar to the Lars Sullivan effect. Not completely.
Not
with anxiety and fear of crowd. That's it. Everything else, no. Everything else.
So that's my thing. I don't mean to be a jerk.
It's certain things.
It's a quick question. It's like if you're going into the wrestling industry and your main goal is to become like well known or whatever, like you have to anticipate eventually if you do make it to that. Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't know until you're actually there.
You don't know until you know.
And how you can handle it. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like I said, I wasn't trying to be a jerk, but it's just like you have to know eventually. If you're good enough, you'll probably get to that stage where you're just
some people can grow into the ability,
absolutely,
of just twisting that crowd.
How to deal with it.
Yeah, like you like that crowd, and it's very different from the '90s. Like she might have been able to prevail in the '90s, but not now with social media. Social media probably helped kill her love for it. And that's happened with a lot of
wrestlers.
That's even happening with a friend of the show, Faye.
Yeah.
It's also happening with her. So I get it. I completely get it. Yeah, we got to reach out to Faye. I completely get it, but you just can't. A lot just comes with being
does when you put in the limelight.
Star. Being a star, being a public figure. That's not what I want to be. I don't want to be a public figure. I think I can maneuver, but I don't think I can do it for that long. I know, I feel like I would have the whole
you need your breaks.
I'm in and I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, you see it with YouTubers, you see it with Instagram bloggers. You see it, they take breaks. I've seen I remember one time I was watching a YouTube channel, one of my favorite channels. Dude just stopped putting out videos. We're like, what the fuck happened? Everybody started looking around. Came back 6 months later. He just came back 6 months later with a fucking tweet saying yo, I just had to get away from YouTube and this and that because of mental health stuff. I just couldn't keep up. And my mental health was deteriorating, and I couldn't. So, I respect the Kaylee Ray, making that decision because it is taxing on the mind. So I can see that. Yeah, exactly.
Because she no showed Bound for Glory, and I definitely do want to say I don't want to say she no showed. I'm not completely aware if she did or didn't, but she was supposed to have a title match. And she did not, and No one told us in at Bound for Glory that it was going to be, oh, this person now. No one said it was going to be Su Young, who ends up winning the title. But it just happened, and everybody's on Twitter freaking out. Like, wasn't she supposed, like, why is she here? It's supposed to be her. It's supposed to be her. It's supposed to be Kaylee. Even all of those questions.
That's a lot. Just
yeah. Like sometimes when you're talking about people, you don't have to at them.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't have to at them, but and
just the associative thing. About it,
because then you're looking at your phone blowing up, bing, 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 bing. And now it's like, okay, let me turn this shit off. And when you turn it back on, bing, 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 like it's a million of them. So I get it, but I really want to commend her for knowing when.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to commend Impact for not bad mouth and not like basically handling the situation.
About it. Exactly. Yeah.
They handle that situation.
If this was WWE, different story. But people.
Mad cases. It's
yeah. So the last thing we have on tap before we get out is John Grisham wins the Ring of Honor Pure title, like we pretty much thought he would. Yes. He's a fucking beast, and
against Tracy Williams, hot sauce.
So like it is known, like in
he's one of the best technically sound.
Yeah, exactly. And now if you go up against like Zack
Cross Brandon,
fucking lost immediately.
They've had that match, but that match was really good too. So don't say immediately.
No,
don't say immediately.
I remember.
But yeah. I haven't seen the match, but I need to see that match. You know how we feel about the technical aspects of just.
Mm-hmm. I just love how my boy Die Hard thinks I hate technical wrestling because I don't like Daniel Bryan or fucking boring ass Bret Hart. But it is what it is. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know what it is with Bret.
They're just boring. He's boring.
He didn't move fast enough.
No, he didn't. Yeah. And it's not his fault. It was just the era he was in.
Yeah. The technical era that he was in was very slow and methodical. Like, Zack Sabre Jr. is different. It's about speed.
He'll put you in 7 different holds in like under 3 fucking seconds, and you're just like, oh.
He's tweaking your arm. He's tweaking like it's.
You're like, literally in 7 different holds at once, and it's just like,
Because then it's a mental game because he's tweaking your arm, but he's also tweaking your fingers when you think you got comfortable enough to say, hey, let me do this. No, more pain in his fingers.
Yeah, more pain.
And ligaments and shit. That's about it.
I think that's all we got. It was supposed to be a shorter episode, but it still ended up being about an hour. Either way, it doesn't matter. Thank you so much for watching.
Look what I did.
Us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes, myself at _ Mr. Alex 25 _ the guy on the other side at
NU _ KEWLA. Do you want to talk about WWE?
No, Facebook.com/Pokes and Chokes, on Instagram at Pokes Chokes Podcast, Spotify, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Transistor, not Tidal because I don't think SoundCloud. I've still been trying to get back on there with whatever. And
everywhere,
obviously YouTube. And our shirt is finally up on Teespring, so check that out. Link will be in the description. Also, go vote, please, everybody. Redbubble, Threadless.
It's all backwards.
So yeah, go vote, people. Try to make a difference. Let's try to get out of this shithole that we're in, and we gotta do this together. So deep. We're pretty fucking deep. We're about like this deep, like up to the chest. We don't want to be this deep.
We're about to drown.
We're about to be this deep. So but yeah, hope everybody stay safe this week, please. Like
yes,
stay safe this week, legit. Have a good time. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace. And much love to you.
Wow.